What's up, everybody? This is Colin from Cordage Homestead. I hope you're all well. Folks, I want to talk to you about another underrated preps, or in this video, preps. Underrated preps are things that are overlooked. They're not talked about enough, and many of us don't have these things, and we should. These things can be life savers in certain situations. So, one thing I want all of you preppers to consider, very important, this is a prepper tip for you, is try to have preps that you cannot easily recreate in nature, that you can't easily make with common household items. One of those things is cordage, okay? And for this video, cordage, rope, and twist ties, they're not easily made. If you can't buy them in the store, very difficult to have the primitive survival skills to go and with plants or vines or whatever, make your own rope, make your own cordage. Very difficult. Just buy it. Just have it. I'm going to discuss different uses for these things and just go over why they're so important. Now, a lot of times when it comes to preps, people want cool stuff or tactical, like tactical and cool, all right? People want gadgets. They want trendy stuff. But what really could save your lives, save your family's lives or your lives, are the basics, the fundamentals, and things that are not as exciting to talk about. So cordage, rope, and twist ties, super important. I use those things all the time on our homestead and in our home, all the time, okay? Super valuable. For those of you who are into gardening, homesteaders, preppers, everybody, you should have these things on hand in your bug out bags, in your homes, and on your property in useful, strategic, if that word applies, locations. So getting right into the uses, let's start with cordage. Cordage, one of the most popular forms of cordage is paracord. Paracord is great. You can buy it with different strengths and different thicknesses. Paracord could be used as replacement shoelaces, okay? You could use this to carry things around your neck. You could use it to create a bag or a sack to carry things in. And that's something that we don't appreciate until we really, like bags, for example. We don't appreciate them, having the ability to move things around until we don't have them. And in a primitive survival situation, if you're surviving outdoors or even camping, you're going to want these things. Paracord and rope, both are useful for hanging your food out of the way of unwanted animals, okay, on your campsite or your shelter, okay. Paracord and rope could be used for building shelter, okay. That could be securing a tarp on the ground, above the ground, wherever. Very, very important. Twist ties can also be used for securing shelter. Now, when it comes to paracord, there's different ways of carrying this. You could just carry some paracord in your bug out bag. They also have bracelets, necklaces, whatever, that you can just have it on you, which I recommend because EDC, everyday carry, is one of the best ways to prep because you've always got it on you, okay? Paracord and twine, rope, things like that, you're going to use that for fixing and building. Now, for heavier construction or heavy duty kind of stuff, you need something strong. I've got here some metal, okay, wire. This stuff is super, super strong. I could not pull this apart if I wanted to. This is excellent. You can tie this in a knot, secure it with some staples, nails, whatever, get creative, and you can hold some things down or hold them in place. Even if it's a temporary fix, better to have this than have nothing, okay? Building shelter for livestock. Now, depending on the survival scenario, it could be weeks, months, maybe years, where the world could really be in a bad situation, okay? People could really, around the world, be facing a bad situation, or in a country or countries. Now, you might not have the ability to just buy a new chicken coop, build a new chicken coop. You might not have the ability to create a shelter for your pigs, whatever it is. With hammer, nails, screws, screw gun, some cordage, wire, rope, basic things like that, you can build a shelter that is strong and will last long enough to raise your livestock, for sure. Cordage, paracord, twine, rope, you could use that for hanging waterers or feed for your chickens, for example. Or if you have quail, you could do the same thing for quail, or hang your water or your feed for your rabbits if you want it off the ground, if you have them in a cage or in a rabbit tractor, whatever your setup might be. The twist ties. I've used these multiple times, if you've watched my previous videos, in securing our compost ring. I take hardware cloth, and I could use the metal that it comes with to wire it. I could also use twist ties to hold them together. Now, the smaller ones, they break kind of easily, all right? You have to use multiple. Twist ties are good for when you need to have multiple points of attachment, or multiple points where it's secured. You don't want to tie a whole bunch of knots. These are quick and easy, and if you want to have 20 of them in a row, boom, 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 you're done. Very, very good. They also have much larger, stronger ones that are very strong, and they're probably going to give you no problems as far as possible breakage or anything like that. So gardening, you can take sticks and twine, or butcher's twine, like this is tarred twine, for example. You can create trellises for your plants. You can create with a stick and some twine. You can just wrap your plants up if they're weak, if they're falling over. I do this all the time, every year for however many years. To secure your plants. If you live in a windy area, now gardening is fun. For us, it's more than just fun. We consider it a necessity to provide healthy food for our family. So you don't want to put your effort, your time, your money into growing a plant, growing a tree, and have the wind just break it. A little bit of twine, a little bit of paracord goes a long way to protect your investment of your time, your money, and your energy, okay? You can put some sticks in the ground or some spikes or whatever, and just run your twine or your rope back and forth, and you can just essentially have your plants climbing upward. You can hang pots that grow vertically. A lot of us might be in however many of us might be in the situation where we're forced to grow indoors. If you're growing indoors, obviously, you've got limited space, just like most of us do outdoors as well, but we've got enough land to grow plenty of food for our family. If we're forced to grow indoors, vertical growing, maximizing every room that we can, is going to be very important. And that's when your twine, your paracord, your rope is going to be very, very important. You're also going to want rope for pulling, okay? Moving things around on a sled for towing if you need to, okay? If your vehicle gets stuck in a ditch or something, you're going to want something to get you out. If somebody has a winch or, some rope, some sturdy rope to get you out, you're going to want that. So I want you folks to keep this in mind. You can't create these things easily in nature without, you need a factory to make a lot of this stuff, okay? And we don't have factories, folks. Very few of us do. So you want to make sure you have things on hand that if the supply chains stop, if the trucks stop rolling, if the planes stop flying, you've got things that you don't have to, you have them, you don't have to worry about them, you don't have to worry about doing some primitive survival and making some things. I don't know how many of you are going to be able to mine iron ore, make your own steel, and as a machinist, like forge it into some wire. It's not realistic, and it's most of us will never be able to do that. So pick these things up. If you found this to be helpful, valuable, if I gave you an idea or ideas or got you thinking, please subscribe, hit the like button, comment below. Do you have these things? Are you going to pick these things up if you don't have these things? Let me know in the comments below. Take care, everybody.